ABC, CEO, wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder. I can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter. Rise and shine. It's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I'm so happy to be here. You know, listen, you guys always get my day going, and I appreciate everything. Every time that you guys come live, I see y'all in here. I see you in here waiting before I get on. I see all of the things, and I appreciate it. You know, I got to do this whole thing with Facebook and all that when I come on here because the system don't go Facebook. So if you know, I'm on 8 different platforms. How's ChatGPT? I come on 8 different platforms every day. And so if you're following me on Facebook, make sure you follow me on Instagram, and I am Constance Carter. If you follow me on Instagram, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page. And if you're on any of Dr. Boyce's channels, continue to like and share, and make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification button so that you can get notified every time we come live. I'm actually going to be on the Fly Nubian Money after this, and we're going to talk about some good shit on there too. And I think I'll be hosting that show. However, make sure you subscribe to all of our channels, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can get notified. Also, if you want to get notifications of when I go live or anything that I'm doing, text Constance to 87948. Text Constance to 87948 so that you can get all information on my classes, on my trainings, on everything that I do. Make sure you text Constance to 87948. This is the Grow Your Money podcast. I actually put on I have this shirt that I've had for a long time. It's the Grow Your Money. It says, grow your money, don't blow your money. So I have on my Grow Your Money. And if you want to get this t-shirt, it's available on conversationtees.com. What y'all do last night? Anybody do anything interesting? This is like I said, this is a dialogue and not a monologue. So every time I come live, I want you to talk back to me and talk black to me. So what did y'all do? Did you guys do anything special yesterday? Yesterday I worked. I'm so fortunate that I think this is the best time of my life. And I'm so grateful. Well, I've always had a really great life. You know, of course we go through ebbs and flows in life, right? We go through different things all the time. And I've had some challenges, like we all have challenges, but I also know that my life has always been extremely blessed. Sheesh, it still didn't do it. My life has always been blessed. I've been really fortunate to have a really great life. I have really wonderful parents. Really, you know, my parents are so dope and amazing. They are best of friends. They've been separated since I was 14 years old, and they both married different people. And they're all like, my mom's ex-husband just passed away last year. Her ex-husband just passed away last year, and then my dad is married, but my mom and dad and they're all like this big village. Like they all come together, and they all used to watch my kids, and it was really cool. So my parents just made it, even though it was a very unconventional family life. I've always really had I'm happy that I've had a good life, and so now I'm looking at my life, and I'm in a great place and a great space mentally. I get to experience now all 4 seasons, which is pretty cool. It was snowing a couple of months ago. Right now, I'm looking at the golf course. I'm looking at people on their golf carts, and it's nice and sunny, and it's almost outside season because I've been in here hibernating for the past couple of months. But also, I'm really blessed because I get to do the things that I really want to do in the season of my life, and that's really pouring into people. Last night, we had Net7 Collective, and Net7 is a group of women that I coach from all over the country, and I help them to grow in every aspect of their life. So I show them how to make money, how to get to their increase their net worth by 7 figures. I show them how to create sustainable businesses, if they have a business, how to grow and scale their business. If they looking to start a business, I teach them how to start a business. I've helped them to become authors. So within 24 hours of releasing this book, we were in the top 100 of all books on Amazon, which was really dope. So these women are now authors, and they're just doing some amazing things. And so last night we had what we call study hall. So I've extended Net7 to a continuum. So it used to be a 12-week program where I was just I was just coaching these women for 12 weeks. Well, now I've turned it into a continuum where we're year round. We're year round. So last night I was really showing them how to articulate their business, their value proposition for their businesses. And it was really amazing. And so I had a training over the weekend. It's called Bring Your Idea to Life. And one of the things that we did inside that training is they had an idea, and I showed them how to take it from ideation to manifestation. And one of the things I showed them how to do was articulate their business values. And so I invited them to Net7 last night so that they can get on there and they could practice, because that's one of the things that we were doing inside Net7. And it was really transformative. It was transformational. In fact, Terry, who's always watching, shout out to Terry. She was actually in the training over the weekend, but she had a really great thing to say about the training this weekend.
I'm so glad that I participated this weekend. It allowed me to grow and to see that I can do anything that I put my mind to do, regardless of how challenging speaking in public is. And I will recommend this to anybody that is actually trying to get their business launching, because your techniques and your style and getting us to actually open up and share our story was excellent. I mean, the presentations and the way you fed back what we gave you was just inspiring, so I do recommend anybody to actually come to this workshop and learn how to, become a better business person and learn how to launch their business.
I'm so proud of this lady, because this woman right here, I don't know if she's on here. She watches pretty frequently. And a few of you guys watch pretty frequently. We're actually in the training, but I'm proud of Terry because she's in the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training. The B1 Real Estate Mastery Training is where I teach people how to become real estate investors. We are getting ready to close on one of her properties this week. So she's getting ready to close on one. She's in action. Okay, so that's one thing. So accomplished, boom, check that off the list. And then she just took she's going to actually take that house that she's purchasing, that property that she's purchasing, and she's turning it into a business. And so that's the reason why she came to this training over the weekend. And so she's just, I love people like that. I love people who are willing to say, you know what? I'm tired of being sick and tired. What's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So people, they want to do something. They don't know how to do it. They want to build wealth, but they don't know how to do it. They want to start their businesses, but they don't know how to do it. And so what ends up happening is when you invest in yourself, that's when you start to see action happen. Janelle, yes, that training was amazing. Constance has a true gift for helping you get it together. Janelle was one of the people who attended the training too. Thank you. I didn't know you was on here. What's up? That's you, Janelle. Okay, I've been seeing you on here. I didn't know. Okay, that's what's up. Thank you so much. So when you invest in yourself, there's going to be a return on investment. I just know that. I've done it. I've invested, I've invested in stock and real estate and businesses. The biggest and the best investment I've ever made was in myself. And I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in all of that. I was telling my daughter the other day, because, I bought her a house, right? Well, she bought a house, but I was like, I put 6 figures in that house. And she was like, oh, I didn't, they don't understand, they just know, she just knows she got a house. My other son, I put a bunch of money in his property. And so I've also put 6 figures in other businesses, other business ventures, but I've also put 6 figures, hundreds of thousands of dollars in myself. And that's the reason why I'm confidently able to put the money in this venture and in that venture, in the cannabis dispensary, in real estate, in stock, because I've been investing in myself, learning, and me learning, it gives me the confidence to do these other things and take these other risks, because I take educated risks. And that's what's important when we're on our journey to build wealth. So a person who's willing to invest in themselves, that's everything. That's the first step to really, really true wealth. And that's what I want to talk to you today about is not only getting the wealth, but keeping the wealth. And that's the reason why I want to talk about Gene Hackman. But I don't just want to talk about that. I want to talk about that and what that means for you, Black people, because that ultimately is what we're here to talk about. I don't care about what they doing or all these wealthy people are doing, but how does this relate to me, and how does this translate to me, and how can I change my life as a result of this? But I've gotten ahead of myself because I got excited about, the things that I'm doing right now. Because like I said, the best thing in life is when you can live a life of service, when you can live a life that's truly, my true fulfillment is what I can do in service for others, how I can help others, how I can build others. That's life. So I wake up every morning happy and inspired because I'm doing something that's helping somebody else. I'm serving somebody else. And that's what life is. And I know, if this is something that you want to do, if you want to live your life of service, of helping people, because let me tell you something, Zig Ziglar said, the way that you can become a millionaire is you help other people become millionaires. That's real. And I've helped a lot of people make a lot of money, and I've gotten the return on that investment. I've helped a lot of people make a lot of money in real estate and other ways, investing in their businesses. So if you want to do that, then you definitely need to invest in yourself. I do have the Grow Your Money Club. Go to growyourmoney.club. Growyourmoney.club. I have like over 30 trainings inside the Grow Your Money Club. I love that thing. That's a labor of love for me. That's not something that I thank you, Precious Jules. That's not something that I get, that I'm getting wealthy from, but that's my give back. This is something that I just want to help you. I just want to help you succeed. I want to help you to see the possibilities. There's a lot of secrets to wealth out there that I know that other people have that I just want to give to my people. A lot of secrets that a lot of codes that I've been able to crack. And that's what I've done inside these trainings is been able to crack the codes and share them with my people. So in the Grow Your Money Club, I have over 30 trainings, and you guys if you want to sign up for the Grow Your Money Club, I know there are several people that are signing up every single day. You get 7 days free. And I mean, how you can't lose if you get 7 days free. You can get in there. The reason why I'm willing to give you 7 days for free is because I have so much great training in there that once you get in there, you're going to stay in there because there's so much great stuff in there, so much great shit in there that you're going to want to be in there. And I'm going to drop new training every month. And so for you guys, what are some things that you want to learn? Some of the things that I do, some of the things that you want to learn so that I can make sure that I have what you're looking for, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you what you need. But I have really, really great training in there inside the Grow Your Money Club. So that's my give back. But I want you to talk back to me. I see Sunshine said she got a testimonial. I was so excited. She said, I got a praise report. Sunshine said, I have a praise report. She said, I got my first franchisee. Woohoo! Go, shawty. Get it, girl. Go ahead. Congratulations. That's what I am talking about. So I'm interested in knowing how you got your first franchisee, what you're doing, where it's located, what's happening. You got all your paperwork together. You got your contracts together. What are you doing? And so just a little bit about her company. She is... I know you put it on here. Victory Village Wellness Center. We travel. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Holistic health, plant-based medicine, women's health, laser, lipo, Emscope, sauna, detox, surgical, post-op care, trauma care. What's your website, Sunshine? What's your website? And she's on here faithful every day. I want to shout you out. If you have a Black-owned business, make sure you send over your information to info@realvirtual.net. That's to Tiara. She's going to put it in the Black business directory so that we can make sure that we have all of your information. So we can do matchmaking. If anybody's looking for your business, your product, your service, it'll be in there. Any other business owners, we want to shout you out because we want to recognize you. Owning a business is not an easy feat. She is in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. What's your website, Sunshine? She's on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle? And you also need to have a website too, dear. I hope you don't just have an Instagram, Sunshine. Okay? And I hope your email, this is something that I teach inside all of my trainings. I hope your email is a professional email. It ain't no Gmail. It ain't no Ymail, Yahoo Mail, or no Hotmail. You need to have a domain with your @ of your business. Okay? That's a tip for you. That's a tip for you. So if we have any other Black businesses on here, I want to make sure that we recognize you because it is extremely difficult to run a business in this world, and with what's going on with the political climate, it's important that we support each other. I think this is a really interesting time because these motherfuckers underestimated us as Black people. They over there fighting like Crips and Bloods, in the White House. You know, Elon and Donald Trump is running the country like they running death row records, like they Suge Knight running death row records back in the 90s. Like, it is a absolute mess. And what's happened is they've done to the US government what's been done to Black people for centuries. They are raping and pillaging the federal government. And it's interesting. And, you know, every time, you know, America has a cold, Black people get the flu, you know that saying. But I think that we're in a great position to get information. Let them motherfuckers fight. Sorry, Dad. My dad said, I did talk to him on Sunday about me cussing, y'all, because, you know, my dad be tripping off me cussing. I did talk to him on Sunday about me cussing. He said, I just muted, but I still watch you. So hopefully my daddy's watching. He don't turn off, because last time he said, every time you cuss, I be turning off all that cussing. Now he said, I just muted. But he likes what I say so much that he keeps watching me. So I appreciate you, Pops. But I think it's a really interesting time, because I really believe that there's opportunity in the midst of the mess. If they're dismantling all of these things that were there to help us, that means we need to go back to pre-civil rights era, to the times when we were practicing collective economics, when the dollar was circulating in our communities for a year before it left. The moment that we no longer had to do business with one another, that's when we stopped doing business with each other. And that's because we thought the white man's ice was colder than ours. And it was some bullshit. And we was fighting to sit at them lunch counters. And then when they finally got that nasty ass food, they was like, we was fighting for this shit? Like, what? So I think we need to get back to being more community minded, because that's who we are as a people. We're communal. We're not individualistic. That's a Eurocentric ideal. That's not who we are. And there is an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So what's happening is I'm seeing a lot of people. I've been talking this shit for years about how we should move as Black people. I'm seeing more people talk about how we should move. And we're all speaking the same language, which I think is really great. We're all saying that we have to support Black owned businesses. We have to practice collective economics. We got to look into our communities first. You know, let's be like them Jewish people that says, listen, I'm not going to do business with nobody until I do business with my own people. That's what they say. And that's exactly what we need to do, Black people. So that's the reason why I'm so adamant about making sure that we shout out Black owned businesses, making sure that we are intentional about our support of Black owned businesses. I remember early on in my real estate career, one of my agents, that's the time I probably had maybe 15, 20 agents. And anything that we did, I was always hiring, you know, the Black photographer or the Black janitor or whatever. And one of my agents was like, I noticed that you hire, and I had some of everybody. I had Filipinos working for me. I had white, Hispanic, everybody, Asian. But one of my Black agents was like, I get nervous because you always hiring Black people to do stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's intentional. And, you know, because back then, that was at least 10 years ago. But back then, the thought was that Black people didn't do good business. But I'm always going to be B1. I'm always going to hire us first, because we need to. Let me tell you something. When other people aren't giving us the opportunity, only 3% of Black owned businesses are in Black communities are Black owned businesses. Most of them are Asians. You come to a Black neighborhood, you're going to see Asian businesses. You're going to see Arab businesses. You're going to see Hispanic businesses, right? But if you go to those neighborhoods, you're not going to see Black owned businesses. So they're us. And if we're not recognizing us, then how are we going to get paid? How can I have any? How? That's why it's so extremely important. There's Black records all over the internet. You can go online and say, hey, where can I find a Black on this? Or you can find it. What's one of my favorite sayings? They done fucked around and gave us the internet. So we got access to everything we need. So if you want to be intentional, if you really want to support Black owned businesses, then you really can. It's not going to be a hard thing to do. So before we get into what I want to talk about with Gene Hackman, and I'm going to talk to you about a few other things, but how this relates to you, I want to tell you a little bit about the Grow Your Money Club again, because that's why I did the Grow Your Money podcast, because I'm always going to show you ways on how to grow your money and not blow your money. Because if you blow your money, Ain't a damn thing funny. But I want to tell you a little bit more about the Grow Your Money Club, because I do believe that it is an extremely important program, and it's extremely important so that you invest in yourself. So watch this. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows, this is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The wealth map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. So like I said, you guys, I've invested in a lot of things. I've invested in businesses. I've invested in apps. I've invested in real estate. I've invested in stock. I've invested in cannabis. But my biggest investment in life has been in myself. So my thing is this: if you are not willing to make an investment in yourself, don't expect to get any return on investment. You literally, by being here today, you're investing your time into learning something different. But I want you to dig a little bit deeper. One of the things that a lot of people said when they go through my trainings is I make them get uncomfortable. They're doing things that they wouldn't normally do. Yeah, I'm not going to embarrass you, but I will make you get uncomfortable. And so if you're willing, that's interesting. If you're willing to, I don't know why Jahari says her website's not showing up. But if you are willing to do the things that are going to make you uncomfortable, then that's when you're going to see real growth. You're never going to grow by staying stagnant, complacent, and comfortable. So you got to do the things that you may not have been willing to do, because again, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. Okay, so I want to make sure that I appeal to you and let you know how important that piece is in your wealth building journey. You're watching me. Why are you watching me? That's what I'm curious. Are you watching me so that you can learn something new? Are you watching me so that because you think I'm cute? Do I have a little something to tell you? Like why are you watching me? Are you watching me so that you can learn something, or am I entertaining? Like why? Or you waiting, you thought Miss Black Hollywood was gonna be here? Her ass, I'm gonna put her on blast. She's supposed to be here today. And I bet her ass overslept. The problem is she's in California. It's 8 o'clock. I know she had a lot going on. She did a presentation last week. Her mom's visiting. So I was like, hey, you getting on with me? And her ass didn't respond. So she's probably asleep. She probably sleep. Is that why you watching me? Is because you, okay. Oh, you want to be like me. Okay. Okay. And Sophia, you are one of the investors inside the Grow Your Money Club. So congratulations, because you are doing the things, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I sold Sophia. I sold Sophia's home. I sold her son and daughter-in-law like 4 homes, refinanced their houses, and I've worked with her family for a lot of years. And so I think it's cool when you have people who don't know you support you and come on here every day, and that's 99% of the people. But I also think it's super cool that people who've seen you up close and personal, that still follow you and still respect you and still want to participate in your stuff, because that speaks to who you are. Because if I'm a scammer, I could sell everybody a dream, right? And everybody, if you don't know me, you're going to yeah, you're gonna listen to me, and you're not gonna know whether I'm telling the truth or not. But when people have seen me up close and personal, and they still follow the teachings I'm saying, and they're still committed and they're faithful and they're willing to invest their time and their resources in the things that I teach, that means a lot, because they see that it lines up for them, right? It's not just something that they see in online. And a lot of times when I interview people for the Net7 Collective, I appreciate it, James. A lot of times when I interview people for the Net7 Collective, I ask them if they did their research. Do you know anything about me? Or did you see a post, or did you see an ad and you ready to sign up? Because I want you to know what it is you're getting into. I want you to know who you're working with. I don't want you to just come up in here and you're inspired by something I said and now you automatically want to work with me. I want you to go do your research. I want you to Google me, because I'm all over the internet. And I want you to really understand what it is that I do, so that you can make a sound investment decision. Holly Enterprises, I'm up, Oakland, California. I've been here to learn and feel motivated. Listen. Yes. She said, I see you, my Bay sister. Yes. Game recognized. Game in the Bay, man. Game recognized. Game. That's a Cali saying, y'all. That's actually a Bay Area saying. Y'all know anything? Anyway. Yeah. So Bay Area shit on that, for real. So let's talk about what's happening with Gene Hackman. Okay. He passed away recently at the age of 95, and he left $80 million to his wife. She was supposed to inherit everything, but here's the catch. She passed away right before him. It was really weird. Did you guys see it? They found him, they found them, her body's mummified. The dog is dead. He dead. Turns out she died a week before he did. And it was just strange. And they're like, well, why did the dog die too? Was it carbon monoxide? And I guess the dog was sick too. It was just a whole lot going on. And it's something, you couldn't even write that in a movie, what was going on with them. You couldn't even write that in a damn movie. So all of that was really strange and fascinating and weird and all of those things, right? So he has 3 adult kids, and they were not named as his heirs, but they want a piece of this estate. And we already know that means court battles, legal battles, possibly years in probate. I don't know if you know anything about probate, but the reason why I want to have this conversation with you is so you can understand that this is not what you want for your family. Okay. So let's talk about it, because I want you to understand this is not just a rich thing. This is not just a Black people thing. This is actually a thing that I've seen throughout my career, throughout my years in selling real estate. I think I mentioned the other day, one of my somebody who used to work for me, her father-in-law died, and this man is still sitting at the kitchen table dead, and his kids is in there moving out the furniture. My mama told me a long time ago, when it comes to death and money, people get to acting funny. You better know that when it comes, and if you haven't written out your affairs or your wishes, then people lose their everlasting mind. I've seen people not talk to their siblings for upward of 20 years because, the mom died and somebody came and took the jewelry, or somebody, got something, they went over there to try to clean things out, or they were trying to get their fair share. Not thinking about, wow, life is short. Mom just passed away. Like, we really need to love each other. We really need to get our shit together. My mom always be like, listen, I'm gonna tell you this, because I have living trusts. All my parents have living trusts. And my mom's like, this is where my insurance is. This is where all my things are. And, if something happens to me, I want you to know where everything is. I don't want you guys to have to worry. Now, I'm pretty sure my brother and my sister and I if we were to fall out, that would be, stranger things have happened, but that would just be beyond me, because that's not how we operate, because our parents have done a really good job in making sure that we know their wishes, right? My dad, it was funny because I was riding in the car with my dad. I was taking him home I think it was in November, when he came out here to visit me, and I was taking him to the airport, and he was talking about his mother. My dad is 77 and his mother is still living. She's like 90 something. And I said, wow, Dad, that is amazing, because his mom is, she had him when she was 15. And I said, that's amazing that, you're this age and you still have a mom living, because when I'm your age, it's likely you're not going to be here. He's like, don't say that, Dad, you're going to be 110, like when I'm your age. So you're likely not going to be around. But some people just don't like to talk about death. That's my dad. You know, my dad is like, oh, I don't want to talk about death. Like, you're not going to bring death on you because you discuss death. So for him, I had to force him to make sure that we put everything in a trust, that we set everything up. And I think it's so cool because, like I said, my mom and my dad and their spouses, like my stepmom, she's real good about, you know, like her, knowing her lane, where she is. She's like, look, something happened to me, my kids coming to get me. Like, so y'all make sure y'all take care of y'all daddy. Cool. At least we know up front, like what's really, what it really is, right? And I'm good with that. Like, we know where she stands, and that means that we got to make sure that our dad is taken care of accordingly. Totally cool. I'm good with that. As long as, you know, you ain't acting like something different. And then when shit hit the fan, you like, pew, you know what I'm saying? So not saying that she's going to leave or anything, but she's just like made it very clear. Like, yeah, like if I get sick, my kids come to get me. They're going to take care of me. So just y'all make sure y'all take care of y'all's father. And that like we have those types of directives. And again, like I said, my parents are best friends. I call my stepmom and my mom's sister wives, because it's really cool. They created this great village, but it's just that they're all just best of friends, and I think that's awesome. But you have to talk about it. Black people, let's talk about let's talk about James Brown. James Brown, I don't know if y'all remember when James Brown died and how all the controversy surrounding James Brown's death. So he had a estate valued at $100 million, and his dispute lasted 15 years because he did not have his estate wasn't playing right. $100 million dispute lasted 15 years. Do y'all remember what happened? Remember, he was married to that white woman. Turns out he wasn't really married to that white woman. And then he had like 12, 15, 25 kids. I don't know. He had a bunch of kids. And the kids was like, well, we don't know if that's his real child, so we want a DNA test. And then she was like, okay, well, then I want a DNA test on y'all. Like, it got real messy. Ended up taking 15 years for them to settle their estate. So, you know, people was over there fighting their ass off, right? And then you had Aretha Franklin. Now, she died a few years ago. Now, what happened with Aretha Franklin? Her estate was valued at $80 million, and it took 4 years. So what Aretha Franklin did is she had her. Now, a will can be anything. Let me tell you the difference between a will and a trust. A will is just directions. It's directives. They're legally binding, but they're directions, right? They're just instructions. A trust is ironclad. They are legally binding also. But you don't have to go through, you could follow the directives of a living trust, don't have to go through court. You can get things done like that. So what Aretha Franklin did is she wrote her will on a piece of paper. So when they was cleaning out her house, they found a will written out on a piece of paper in her little chicken scratch in the couch, in between the couch. And this was her will, and they had to honor that. But can you believe a lady with that much money and access to lawyers and things like that didn't have a living trust, and they found her will handwritten in between the seats, the cushions of her couch? That's crazy. And then you have Prince. Prince didn't have any children, and his estate was valued at $156 million. He had, I think, 2 full siblings or 1 full sibling. I know he had a sister. I think he had a brother too, but then he had a bunch of half siblings. So they took 6 years to settle his estate, 6 years. And then you had a lot of outside people. So his half siblings, they was like, you know what we gonna do? We gonna go ahead and sell our share before. So they sold, like a couple of them sold their part, whatever they were going to get, they sold it like within 2 to 3 years, because they were like, we can't do this battle. And then by the time everything was settled in that 6 years, one of the siblings had died too. So then their portion went to the other siblings. I think the full sister was like, well, you guys ain't entitled to it because you ain't his full sister. So it was just a mess. What happens to the family and the breakdown of the family? They end up hating each other for life. And then finally you have John Singleton. This was a mess, 2 years ago. It finally took 4 years to settle his estate. His estate was worth $35 million. Now, what John Singleton did is he set up a living trust. Yay! 21 years ago. Boo. So when he had set up the living trust, he had 1 child. When he died, he had 6. So what ended up happening is that baby mama came out, was like, I want some insurance. I want back child support for my daughter. And then the daughter was like, I want to be in control of the estate and I want to be able to do what the hell I want to do. Oh, finally, his mother was able to get control of the estate. She got it. She distributed the money equally amongst all the children. Again, what happens when this type of thing happens? Everybody ends up fighting. Everybody ends up hating each other. And oh, by the way, you guys, make sure this is really valuable information. I'm putting y'all up on some game. And I'm going to tell you why this matters to you. Again, this is not just a rich person's problem, but make sure you sharing this out. Take this link right now. Go on and text it to some people and tell them to hop on and watch this right now. Okay. So whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, I need you guys to let people know about this, because this is going to be very important. If we're talking about closing the wealth gap, if we're talking about Black wealth in general, it's important that we understand not only how to get the wealth, but how to keep the wealth and how to pass the wealth. The Bible says a good man, Daddy, I'm preaching now, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children and his children's children. And a wise man leaves an inheritance, and a good man. So if you really want to create true generational wealth, when you look at the Rockefellers, that's dynasty legacy. Y'all don't even know what dynasty is. They got enough money for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Now, do you remember the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts? Both had money. The Vanderbilts heirs are now no longer wealthy, right? Anderson Cooper is an heir of the Vanderbilts. He doesn't have wealth. And then you had the Rockefellers. They did certain things with their money. They invested it in permanent life insurance policies that generated compound interest, which they were able to live off the compound interest. Those are things that I do. So one of the things, for example, I have my living trust, right? Which, oh, by the way, I created an ebook for a living trust because I was updating my living trust. I paid someone to do a living trust for me. And a few months ago, when I purchased this home, I updated my living trust using ChatGPT. And so I was like, well, let me just create an ebook so that I can help other people to be able to do the same thing. So I created an ebook. Go to makemylivingtrust.com and you can actually learn how to do a living trust yourself. The reason why a lot of people don't have living trust is because they're expensive. They don't know what to do. They don't know the necessity of a living trust. Really quick, let me show you this video I did a couple of years ago. It went viral. I don't know why. I talk about this all the time, this kind of shit all the time. For some reason, this video went viral for some reason. I don't know if it's because my hair was red. I have no idea. But it sparked up a lot of conversation on all platforms. It went viral on Facebook. Sometimes, y'all, a little sidebar. When things go viral, because sometimes I'll have content that'll go viral. When things go viral on Facebook, it don't necessarily go viral on Instagram. I'll have something that have 1 million views on Facebook, 200 views on Instagram, same post, and 15 views on TikTok. So it's really weird. This one went viral on all the different platforms. And so obviously this is something that I think a lot of people need to really understand and know about having these living trusts.
12 years ago, I moved into an affluent neighborhood. And when I did, I wanted to see who was who. See, I met one of the neighbors and he was telling me, this person owns this multi-million-dollar company. This person owns a winery. So I wanted to see who my neighbors were. When I went to look them up, because as a real estate agent, I have access to that information, I noticed that a lot of these homes were in living trust. And so I was wondering, what is this whole living trust thing about? Coincidentally, a few months later, we sold a home to a young couple and the home was only in the husband's name. A few months later, he gets into a car accident and he dies. The wife wants to sell the home. And she couldn't sell the home because even though California is a community property state, half of that home still belonged to the kids. And the judge, when she went to try to sell it, the judge said, well, it's not in the best interest of the children to sell the home right now. She had to go fight through probate in order to get it sold. And so over the years, I've sold many homes of people who ended up dying, and some had living trusts, some did not. A will is not the same as living trust. So even if you will your property to somebody in your family, it still has to go through probate, which is a costly process, and a will can be contested. A living trust cannot be broken. Even as a first-time home buyer, when you get your home, it is important that you protect your assets. Get mortgage protection insurance and get a living trust. You want to make sure that your kids don't end up hating each other and fighting each other in the event of your death.
So y'all, again, I don't know why that particular one went viral, but it obviously sparked conversation. And like I said, I said 12 years ago. It's been 14 years since I have moved into that neighborhood. Here, I'm in an affluent neighborhood, but it's Black, right? Black people ain't got their stuff in living trust. So the houses here are bigger, the cars are better. I don't know if the people are richer. I don't know, because sometimes Black people like to show their wealth more than other people, and that's okay. But I do know that I was able to look everybody up, and ain't nobody got their houses in living trust, because my nosy ass was looking up to see who are my neighbors. When I looked up the people who I was trying to see, because like I said, the neighbor, the weirdo across the street had said to me, "Oh, you must have pulled yourself up by your bootstraps to move over here." Motherfucker, you don't know me. I must have pulled up myself by my bootstraps. What did you do to pull yourself up by your bootstraps to live in this neighborhood? Asshole. Anyway, he was just telling me, okay, the person who lives here, they're a lawyer. The person who lives here, they own not a winery. They owned a whole, what do you call those? Not a winery, but the whole where you have the grapes, like in Napa, a vineyard. They own this. These people own a vineyard. This person over here had the Statue of Liberty in their backyard. This person, because we was on the water. This person over here had a whole I went back there. We had bought a boat, and I went back there. And do you know there was a big old goddamn cruise ship? I'm like, how did they get this cruise ship in their backyard? And they had it like they didn't use it. It was like literally, it was almost as big as a cruise ship. It was huge. And they just had it like fixed up, and they would go out there. They would have parties and stuff in their backyard. Like I had really, really wealthy neighbors. One of my neighbors, he started pick and pull. You guys know what the pick and pull is? Y'all know what pick and pull is? That's where you go pull parts, for your car. He lived in my neighborhood. So over here where I'm at now, I have athletes. I have professional athletes, so football players, basketball players, and a lot of people who have government contracts, things like that. Again, I'm seeing who all live in this neighborhood because I was able to look them up. I couldn't look up the people in my old neighborhood. Why? Because they had living trust. So living trust, you get that anonymity. Like you don't know, you're not going to know, because my living trust is not my name. Some people will have, like my first living trust was the Carter family trust. Well, you still know the Carters own this trust, right? You can name your living trust whatever you want to. So my living trust doesn't have anything to do with my name. So if you go looking up Constance Carter Living Trust or Carter Living Trust or whatever, you're not going to find me. My living trust is what I want it to be. So you have that anonymity. And then you have that protection. So when you die, your properties get transferred to your heirs seamlessly. So when I've sold homes for people who didn't have living trusts, that just had wills. And there's a saying in the asset world that wills will be contested, right? So you can have a will and be like, yeah. In fact, I was talking to somebody, and their dad was sick. It was somebody in my family. Their dad was sick, and they got to talk about, well, if something happened to dad, I get the house. They already, Negro just had it wasn't even that bad. He might have had a cold, but they got to talking about what they gonna do with the man's house. And his mom goes, well, you know what? I'll just make sure we set up his will. And I said, they still gonna be fighting. They gonna hate each other, because a will again can be contested. So I could have my house, and I could say in my will, I could say I want my house to go to my children if I only had a will. Somebody, one of my cousins in Arkansas can come say, no, Niecy said I can have her property. Now, there's no record of anybody. There's nothing. I don't even know this person's a long lost relative, long whatever. But what will end up happening is it still has to go to probate, and the probate judge, which is costly, which is time consuming, will have to determine whether this is true or not. They'll eventually find that this person wasn't true, but now my kids have spent, thousands of dollars fighting this cousin from Arkansas, and so if you had a living trust, that wouldn't happen. So when I sell homes that are in living trust, boom, 30-day close. One of my girlfriends, her dad died suddenly. She didn't even know. They're African. Living trust, got it on the market, closed in 30 days, bada bing, bada boom. My other clients, I had some clients in Richmond. Shout out if you're watching, Richmond, California, and it was some siblings. It was one male. It's one of my really good friends. And I sold all. I've sold all them homes, but it was the dad and his 4 sisters, I believe. And they was fighting. They was arguing. Mama want me. Mama said. Mama said. Mama said. Mama said. I'm a maku. So they was arguing, right? So I'm listening to them argue. So we have a meeting on the conference line, and I'm getting my hair done. So I can't really talk back. So I'm just listening to all this nonsense about what mama said and mama wanted me to have, right? These people is my mama's age. They was in their 60s at the time, at least. So they talking about what mama said, they arguing and shit. And I was just listening. So finally, when I got out the chair and I got in my car, I let these people have it. I said, your mama would be ashamed of herself. Your mama is probably rolling over in her grave right now. Y'all old as my mama, and y'all talking about what mama said and what mama wanted. If mama wanted y'all to have it, mama would have let y'all know. Mama would have did this or mama would have did that. So here they are arguing over mama house, and nah, mama, I was the oldest, so mama wanted me to have. And that's what ends up happening. Probate can take a long time. Yes. It will take a long time. On average, it takes 2 years to go through probate. Okay. You have to have an exit plan. So it got real quiet on the call because just 5 minutes before they arguing for at least 30 minutes about what mama said. And after I said that, it got real quiet and they felt terrible. They were like, we're sorry, Sister Constance. Cause I started throwing the Bible up in there too. I started throwing, y'all supposed to be Christians. They was like, we sorry, Sister Constance. And, but that's what happens more than not. People are fighting, or you'll have siblings and there's a house and you'll have one sibling in Atlanta. That's a sibling that ain't did shit, ain't been around in 10 years. Y'all get ready. Everybody here is in agreement that we're going to sell the house. That sibling in Atlanta who ain't been around the last 10 years says, nope, I want to keep mama house. What happens? Now we got to go through probate. We got to fight her. We got to pay extra money. We got to do all this stuff because one person objected. I had another situation where these young ladies contacted me. They may be watching. I don't know. But it was a sad situation because they contacted me because they wanted me to sell their house in Berkeley. This is $1 million home. Like it was worth like $1.5 million. It was on its last leg, but it was their father's home. It was their grandparents' home. They lived in North Carolina. The father was from the Bay Area. And so it was their grandparents' house that left it to their kids. And then so all the siblings were dead except for one. There was one gentleman that still was living. He had no kids. And he said he lived in the house. They were saying he does live in the house. The bottom line was this. They were in North Carolina. They weren't even, I guess, from what the man had told me, these are my brother's kids, but they've never even been around the family. They were like, we want our inheritance. So we don't give a damn what you're doing, uncle, but you're going to have to sell this house and we're going to have to get our piece. They ended up going through probate. It ended up taking about 3 years, because they contacted me in 21 and they just emailed me a few months back, I think in 24. So it ended up taking about 3 years for them to fight through this. And they won. They ended up being able to sell the property. The sad part was the uncle, because what he was doing, he was stalling. He was like, okay, I'll buy you out. He ain't had no money to buy them out. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. Sad thing was, this was his house, his childhood home. He's in his 70s. He had been there since he was a child. And here you have my siblings, heirs, kicking me out of my home. And I have no recourse because they are entitled to it. Yeah. So it was really sad. And these people came to me, right? Wanting me to help them sell this house. I felt bad, morally, legally, they were right. Morally, I couldn't agree with that. I felt bad for the old man who now was going to be displaced. He was going to get a good chunk of money. House is free and clear for years. He's going to get, he's going to get a few $100,000 because they had to split it between 4 of the heirs' kids. So he was going to get 1/4 of the funds, but that's my childhood home. So, there's all of those things like that can happen. So now he's stuck because there was no living trust in place. This is how important this is. So I need you to understand that if you don't want your children to hate each other, you have to plan for this now. When do you need a living trust? As soon you don't even have to have property. But if you have medical directives, when I was doing my mama's living trust, I was like just checking boxes. She was like, "Well, what's that? What you checking?" I said, "Oh, that's a DNR." And she's like, "Wait, hold on. What? Nah, you're not finna do no DNR with me. If I go out, you gonna have to give me a couple of months. Do not resuscitate me. I want to try to live as long as this is what my mama said. Now me, I'm different. I'm like, listen, if I go out, just go ahead and let me go. My mama said, give me a few months before you let. I ain't doing no DNRs. But you have a power of attorney, you have medical directives. So even if it's just for that portion and you don't have any assets yet, it's still good to have a living trust. Okay. But even if you have one property, my sister has no kids. She owns a house, and I've been trying to get her to set up her stuff, and she still hasn't done it yet. Hopefully, you know what? I'm gonna send her my ebook so that she can get hers done, because I haven't really been pressing her. And actually, I don't think she doesn't even know. She don't watch this stuff. She doesn't know I have this ebook. But I'm gonna tell her, I'm gonna talk to her today and have her set her stuff up, because we need to know what she wants to do. She has, my brother has kids and grandkids, and so his kids and grandkids and my kids are kind of like her kids. So I don't know what she wants to do, but we'll all be confused should something happen to my sister suddenly. So these are the things that you really got to think about. It's a burden. People already have to deal with the loss of losing you, and then they have to deal with all of the other things that come along with it. So another thing on my website, I do have a personal information organizer, because one thing that happens, my godmother, who I'm named after, beautiful, beautiful godmother, Constance Campbell, love her. They called her Connie girl. That's why people always ask me, they call you Connie? No, they call me, well, in my family, they call me Niecy, but she was Connie, I'm Constance. But anyway, she died of COVID. And my cousin, who was her daughter, ended up, she couldn't find her insurances. This is what happens a lot too. We can't find her insurance. We know she got insurance. Well, what's her bank account information? What's all that stuff? So people are scrambling. Now, the loss of losing my godmother, it was horrifying. It was terrible. But now we got to figure out where your insurance is. We don't know how to get access to your money for your bank account. We have none of that information. So I have a free download. You can go to constancecarter.com, and it's a personal information organizer that I have on there. And that's just for you to have everything all in one place. Make it electronic. You could print it out, write it down. You can edit it inside the thing, send it to your loved ones. You need to have that. You need to have that, because the worst thing you could do in life is to have the people that you love scrambling over this stuff. Okay. So that's extremely important. So one, I created a book, Make My Living Trust book. And two, I have this personal information. What happened? Somebody said something. Oh, okay, correct. He said Rockefellers were bad examples because of the way that they gained their money. The point is, though, and you could say that about a lot of people, the Kennedys as well. The point is they have true generational wealth. So I was told that I need to go to another commercial really quick. I need to tell you a little bit about one of my passion projects, which is the Net7 Collective. So let me show you what Dr. Emma Frazier had to say
Warren
about.
Just finished this.
When I joined the Net7, I had no idea of Constance connection. I met a group of women that changed my life. But Constance showed me, when you get one-on-one coaching with her, you get a certain amount of those. You meet these women. We learned about relevant contracts. We learned how to build wealth. We learned about real estate. And we built a sisterhood that sustains me to this day. So I'm telling you, if you want to rock your life, if you want to grow your brain, if you want to upscale your brand, you can get all of that with today's purchase of the grade. And I tell her, her name constant is who she is. She is constant. She is resilient. And you will feel like you're the only one in a group of women because she has an intimate touch when it comes to knowing her clients.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all something. We friends, right? So let me tell you this. It is extremely uncomfortable for me to hear people say these beautiful things about me. This is really wonderful. And I was telling the students on the training over the weekend, it's very uncomfortable. And I was talking to my daughter one day and I was like, isn't it like cringy when people give you compliments or they do a testimonial? She's like, no, I love that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, for me, it's a little uncomfortable. That's so fun. I'm like, you didn't get that from me. But Dr. Emma Frazier is one of the most brilliant minds. She is Dr. George Frazier's sister, Harvard PhD, and just brilliant. So the Net7 Collective is full of women like that. We just had our study hall last night. So what happens is, like I said, Net7 Collective, I made it into a continuum. So you don't just have to learn in 12 weeks. It's a community. It's a lifetime community. And so the other thing I've done, which is more work for me, but it's so fulfilling, I made it 2 days a week. Not you don't have to. The second day is optional. So we get together every Wednesday night, and I teach a concept. And then every other Monday we have what's called study hall, where we get on it, and the things that I teach, we actually practice. So I'm showing them, like, my thing is, I don't want you just to be hearers of the word. I want you to be doers of the word. So I'm showing them I'm making sure that they understand the concept and they're in action with the concept. And so that's what study hall is. It's dope. Net7. The reason why I did it like that, it was just a 12-week program. And I'm telling you, my coach was like, don't do that, and for what the investment is in it, it's more work than what you're getting paid for, but I think it's going to pay off in the long run. This is my give back. But when I looked at the political climate and I seen everything that was going on with, just them running the country like Suge Knight ran Death Row Records, I said, okay, I need to make sure that these ladies, I'm invested in them, and I need to make sure that these ladies are in action at all times. And so that's why I changed the format a little bit, and I said, okay, we're going to make sure that it's ongoing so that they're not missing anything. And if they miss a concept, they can come back. I'm going to continue to teach over and over again. So, we wrote a book. And one of the great things is now, because inside our program, I was teaching them how to speak and articulate their value. We ended up writing a book that ended up, was within the top 100 books on Amazon within the first 24 hours. This book is an inspiring collection of stories from the ladies of the Net7 Collective who've overcome adversity, broken generational cycles, and built wealth while uplifting their communities. I am so proud to be a part of such a powerful group of women who truly live by the principle, iron sharpens iron. So these women are authors too. It's so amazing. So these are just some of the things, some of my give backs. I actually did a training over the week. I am here to listen and learn from you because you have everything I need and prayed for to establish my family legacy. I appreciate you. Lovely JR, you are so lovely. I met Lovely JR in the 2-day training that we had over the weekend. And it was so good to meet her. And the great thing about it is the first day, she had no idea what she wanted her business to be. She had a couple of different business ideas. So we go through that. I show them how to, establish, get that idea and let's really crystallize it. And then I show them how to articulate their value. Okay. So like when when they tell me what their story is, I tell it back to them. That's why they're blown away. And I've learned from some of the best. So I've been trained by Lisa Nichols. I've been trained by Les Brown, Linda Clemens. A lot of the greatest speakers in the world are personal mentors and coaches of mine that I learned from. And so they think like, oh my gosh, she's so gifted. She's so talented. No, but it's actually something that I've learned by virtue of me sitting under these people and then pouring into me. And I get to pour my gift. I'll say it's a gift now, right? But it's a learned talent that I've gotten. And so I show them how to articulate their value proposition, and they're just completely blown away. So when they talk about their business and then I repeat it back to them, they're like, whoa. And I do it in a way where they're like, I thought that was your business. So Net7 Collective, if you're interested in joining the collective, I think it'll change your life. Everybody that's been through there says it's changed your life in one way or another. Last night, one of the ladies, listen, y'all, there's one lady and I was showing her how to articulate her value. You're gonna hear from her soon. She hijacked a plane, was on the lam for what was it, 10 years, 16 years in Cuba. Ended up, she's on the lam, ended up getting caught, ended up getting a 20-year sentence, did 10, and now she's working with formerly incarcerated women. But her story is just outstanding. But she gave just such a beautiful testimonial last night of how this has really changed her life, how Net7 Collective has really changed her life. And that's what fills me. That's the reason why I do what I do. So on Friday, so the thing I did the training I did on Saturday and Sunday, it was called Bring Your Idea to Life. And this is where I help people to understand and articulate or discover their idea, take it from ideation to manifestation to monetization. That's what we did in that 2-day weekend. On Friday, I'm doing a training, a free training. It's called Think, Build, and Monetize. What am I doing with that? I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you an introduction. This is a free training. How to identify your unique expertise and how to monetize it, how to build your framework, and how to and give you proven strategies to help you take your business to the next level. If you have an idea, we're going to talk about that. So instead of us being here, we're going to be doing that. But you have to register for this training. It's free. It's free. Remember, the trainings that I have, I put them inside the Grow Your Money Club. And so then it'll be in the Grow Your Money Club, and it's going to be a part of the Grow Your Money Club. And people after that are going to have to pay to have access to this. So this is Think, Build, Monetize. Go to thinkbuildmonetize.com if you want to sign up for the training. This is going to be Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. If you are interested, then register for it because it's not going to be made available to the public. This is my give back to you. This is a free training that I'm offering you to, if you have a business idea, because a lot of you have these ideas that people will pay for. They will pay handsomely for it. They will, you may have had, that was an idea that I had. You know what idea I had? Thank you. Thinkbuildmonetize.com. I should have been the inventor of Calendly because I used to hate calling my hairdresser to make appointments. And I used to be like, if there was an online calendaring system or a style seat or, all those calendaring systems, that should have been me. Because I was like, they need an online calendar system. Somebody came up with it. They're making millions of dollars. The guy who created Calendly is a brother, and he's making millions of dollars. So there are ideas that you have in your head that you think, well, maybe I can't do it. Well, let's talk about it on Friday. And this is a free training for you. So go to thinkbuildmonetize.com. Let me show you again, Terry Wilson, who she was in the training on Saturday. And let me just show you what she had to say.
I'm so glad that I participated this weekend. It allowed me to grow and to see that I can do anything that I put my mind to do, regardless of how challenging speaking in public is. And I will recommend this to anybody that is actually trying to get their business launching, because your techniques and your style and getting us to actually open up and share our story was excellent. I mean, the presentations and the way you fed back what we gave you was just inspiring, so I do recommend anybody to actually come to this workshop and learn how to, become a better business person and learn how to launch their business.
Again, and I said earlier, I'm so proud of Miss Terry, because Terry is a person who's in action. She's a person that has been sick and tired of being sick and tired. So she's been thinking about doing stuff for years. She's been thinking about investing in real estate. She took the B1 real estate mastery training with me. Guess what? This week she's closing on a property. She's taking that property and she's creating a business out of this property. So she's taking all of the steps in order to get that financial freedom and that generational wealth. So I'm super proud of her because didn't just take that training. She's taken other training with me and with the Black Business School. She's like, listen, I'm gonna do something different because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So that's what I'm doing on Friday. So 3 more days where we're gonna have the Think, Build, Monetize. Make sure, y'all, the Grow Your Money Club is here to be able to be a starter, right? So you may not be able to join the Net7 Collective. You may not be able to afford one-on-one coaching with me because I charge $500 an hour. You may not be able to afford that. But what you can get is over 30 trainings from me. And I'm dropping 1 new training in every month. You can get that. You can get a free training from me on Friday. This is also going to be inside the Grow Your Money Club. That's also going to be something that is going to be able to enhance your life. You can do that. So I really encourage you to take this time and invest in yourself. You are your biggest commodity, y'all. You are your biggest investment. So nobody is going to invest in you the way that you are. And nobody is going to, the input that you give yourself is the output that you're going to give to the world. It's going to be magical. It's going to be magnificent. So James, shout out to James. He said it's already done. There was some comments and some feedback. Carla said she's a notary in Northern California and heard it all. She's talking about the probate. Listen, I know. Too Real for TV said you have to have an exit plan. Somebody asked me where's a website for my personal information organizer, and that's on ConstanceCarter.com. So if you go to ConstanceCarter.com, click on books, I believe. Click on books, and then the personal information. It's a free download that you can grab. ConstanceCarter.com, Jahari, ConstanceCarter.com. It's a free there we go. Go to ConstanceCarter.com, go to books, I think. And it's a free download where your personal information organizer, you put all of your things in one place. We don't know when we're going to die. And are you ready? Not just spiritually, but are you ready physically? Are you ready to, are your finances in order? Well, losing you is already going to be huge for your family, but are they going to be able to make things seamless? Your life insurance, is that together? You got to make sure you have a life insurance policy. It will be a sin before God if you left your children up to having to figure that shit out. That's not cool. What is that saying to them? It's not telling them that you love them. So make sure you have a life insurance policy. If you can get a permanent life insurance policy, that's even better. That's where I talk about the compound interest. That's where you can really create your own bank. But that's an advanced topic right there. At least have a term life insurance policy because you don't know what's going to happen. And if you could leave them some little change, it's not going to replace you, but it is going to be something to supplement, the loss, the financial loss, something. It'll never replace you. Okay. That's it. I'll be on the other Fly Nubian Money podcast in about 45 minutes. And if you guys want to come and check us out over there, I'll be there. Again, all the Black owned businesses, make sure you even if you're not watching me live, put your comments in, put your business in the comments so that people can know where you are. We want to put your information out there, and we want to celebrate you, Black people. I love you for real in real life. That's why I come here every single day, because I love you. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to see you tomorrow. The same bat time, the same bat channel. All right.